This is a 1959 BSA twin, shooting star, 500cc. Probably the only one in Kenya. Used to be lots of them, and they were a very popular bike in those particular times. And I got this one out of Nakuru about 20 years ago, and it's just been in storage, and now I've decided to do it up and restore it. Very, very popular brand when I was young, and everybody either had one of these or a Triumph or some other big British twin. And a very well-engineered bike that I'm really, really enjoying working on. And I basically got it out of a garage in Nakuru, where it had been sitting for 30 years because they wanted to use some parts on another bike, and so I've built it up from there. I'd like these bikes, some of them, to go into a museum. I'm not building them for money or anything. I mean, if we had a national motoring museum, which sadly we don't, we should have in Kenya, should have a national motoring museum, because motoring is part of the history of every single person who's been born in Kenya for the past 50, 60, 70 years, since, transport by motor vehicle became very common. So it would be nice, but really what I like, that's one reason, but another reason is I just like to work with my hands the way people did when handwork was really appreciated, when craftsmanship in work was the normal way, and you had to learn many ways of doing things in a perfect manner in order to get a right job done. It's all now done by robots in giant factories. We see it on TV. But in those days, it was all kimokono. And I like to do it kimokono. I get a great satisfaction out of making something bringing it back from the dead, like resurrecting a kind of a Dracula or a Frankenstein that's been chucked away, and bringing it back and reversing the process so that it looks as beautiful as the day it was born, which is always the day it comes out of a factory or goes into a show. And if I can do that, then I've actually brought the past back to life. And I think when you bring the past back to life in the correct way, which means then you can't start changing it and making it all maridadi and putting some Japanese thing on here and mixing a Chinese tank, and you've got to try and do it how it was done, otherwise you're not doing history, you're doing fiction. When you get it back to how it was historically, then younger generations can come and see it, and they can come and say, wow, that's how they did it, and I can see why they did it the way they did it. And that's what history is all about, a chain of things that happened, as close to it as you can get.